Hello everybody, welcome back. It's me, Calox1 here. I'm back making another YouTube video. And I know, again, my poor upload schedule. I'm sorry, I cannot apologize enough, because I know I have been having bad upload schedules, so yeah. But anyways, I just thought I'd make this video because there's been a little bit of controversy with just a little known game known as Death Stranding. Now, for those of you who don't know, Death Stranding is a game made by Hideo Kojima. And why am I talking about this? It's because there was some controversy a little more than a week ago surrounding its Game of the Year award nominations. Now, of course, I don't have any problems with who thinks it deserves Game of the Year award or who thinks it doesn't, because that's a whole nother topic. That's just, I'm not even going to get into that, but my whole situation is with the people who are just taking the piss out of this whole situation and outright just trying to stir up the pot, cause more controversy than the game actually deserves. And the person I'm going to be responding to is none other than ReviewTechUSA. Now, he is someone who I have some agreements with and some disagreements with at times. Now, I don't have anything against him personally, but this time I just disagree with what he's doing. He just is, to me, just coming off as he's just trying to come off with something to make a video on just to get clicks. He's just trying to stir the pot. And frankly, I disagree with him, and I disagree with his actions. Now, I'm going to get straight into this, starting with the Twitter video he uploaded 2 weeks ago, or about more than a week. And I'm just going to play it here.
Because they know everyone doesn't want anyone to talk bad about Hideo Kojima and Death Stranding. They are mum about it, or they only praise it. And I know with anything else, if it was any other developer in any other game, they would be losing their minds. So you know what? I'm not even going to make a video. I'm not even going to waste my time. Whatever the case be with the game, let it be. I'm done discussing it. It's frustrating because there's a double standard out there, and it's like I feel like I'm screaming into a well and no one hears it. You know what?
So of course I have a problem here. First of all, Rich seems to think that this game deserves more criticism than it's having currently, or whatever the case is with his problem with the game. And he says that this game is getting a pass compared to if it was any other developer, which I know which he's referencing. He's more regarding to either EA or Activision, who tend to mess up their games and tend to put out unfinished games. Now, frankly, this game, from what I've seen the criticism, it has gotten fair criticism. Now, the problem here is Rich is trying to make it sound like it's a bigger deal, and that it's getting a pass than if this was with any other developer, and that since it's with Kojima, it is getting a pass. Now here's the problem. The game isn't broken, the game isn't buggy, the game doesn't have any microtransactions whatsoever, and the game is just, yes, it's long, and yes, there's hardly that much combat. The game isn't centered around combat. Now, if he just criticized the game for being boring, that would be different. But he's saying that this game is getting passes that any other game wouldn't get. Now, I don't see what passes he's talking about, because so far the only criticism for this game has been that the gameplay is boring and that they're not interested in the story, and some of the mechanics are trash, which all that is just subjective opinions. And he's trying to pass it off as this game should get more criticism than what it's getting. Now, for me, so what I'm going to ask, what criticisms does this game deserve? Because frankly, I don't see it, because this game, you can't really criticize it that much for being boring. If you don't like it, fine, that's you, I respect your opinion. But what criticisms does it deserve, Rich? Again, what criticisms? So I didn't really take a huge problem with him making that Twitter video. I did call him out on it, but the problem is, there was no huge evidence to show that, of course, Geoff Keighley did rig the Game Awards for Death Stranding, but of course none of that was out there at the time. And now when ReviewTech made his video, he went off of a Kotaku article, which of course was saying how suspicious it was that Death Stranding was nominated for so many awards. Now, well, yes, I agree that was suspicious at the time. I couldn't really say anything about it because there wasn't really any hard evidence. Now, there were people who loved it, and there were people who really hated it, of course. And for the people who loved it, they really did say that they loved the certain aspects about the game, such as the music and the acting and just the story. And truly, those parts were I believe that were nominated mostly. And of course, they have an all-star cast, so of course they're gonna have a few, like an actor or two, pop up for a nomination. But hey, now my problem is he goes into a Kotaku article that says how suspicious it is, but the problem is, not that long ago, after this was posted, Kotaku made another article saying well, it was more Geoff Keighley saying that how the nominations were actually being picked. Now, he actually came out and said he didn't have any real power over what games got nominated. This was more decided by critics. So, I'm just going to show you that evidence.
Time, Kojima and Keighley became buddy-buddy. And just because I don't want to make a mistake with this, I'm actually quoting from Kotaku.com. You're making me quote from Kotaku.com, Geoff Keighley. But they're right. They have concerns too. And I have to give Kotaku credit where credit's due for this article. And this is what they had to say about the relationship between Kojima and Keighley in the Game Awards and how the game getting 8 nominations just seems sketchy. Death Stranding's nominations at the 2019 Game Awards are hard to separate from that series of events, as well as Keighley's ongoing relationship with Kojima. Kojima himself sits as a member of the show's advisory board, which also includes major industry figures such as Nintendo President Doug Bowser, Activision President Rob Kostich, and Microsoft Executive Vice President Phil Spencer. Keighley appears in Death Stranding, which I've talked about before, via likeness as the Ludens fan. Ludens is the name of the astronaut mascot for Kojima Productions. Now because I think it's fairly logical to do, question all the nominations on Twitter that Death Stranding got.
So in the article that came out after this one, Kotaku, of course, addressed the key points, of course, with the nominations, how they are chosen. Geoff Keighley himself came out and said he doesn't have any saying power because, of course, he is the presenter. It becomes a conflict of interest if he does let his biases come in the way when it comes to picking. Now, he does say how it is picked. Of course, it goes through media outlets or reviewers and critics, and of course, it's chosen by the people because, of course, they let the people choose too what game they think deserves the Game of the Year nomination. But Kotaku also addresses with how Konami sits on the board of directors, which of course Kotaku says that the board of directors has no actual power when it comes to choosing the awards. Now, this goes against everything Rich tried using in the article he pulled up from Kotaku. Now, the problem is here, Kotaku isn't reliable. They're not really a reliable company when it comes to pulling out information, and a lot of their articles really aren't that great. Now, the fact he uses Kotaku is just a red flag for me, but other than that, it's just the fact that he tries to accuse the Game Awards of being rigged, or that Geoff Keighley is just putting Death Stranding on all of these nominations because how Geoff Keighley is in the game. Now that would be suspicious if Geoff Keighley was allowed to nominate the games himself, but he doesn't. So that's just a few of his points taken down again. So yeah, So the last and final point I want to address in ReviewTechUSA's video is when he starts saying that he knows certain YouTubers aren't calling this out. Now, I could pretty much assume which YouTubers he's talking about because mostly the big YouTubers that do cover like controversy in the gaming industry are pretty much all the bigger YouTubers such as Lyman Gaming or Skill Up, Young Yeah, etc, etc. All those big gaming channels that cover gaming news. And he says since they're not addressing it, that they're mostly covering just Kojima, that they're afraid to call it out, or just because they don't want to. Now, he does say that if this was EA or any other company, that these YouTubers would call them out. But the problem is, a lot of YouTubers, like I mentioned before, a lot of people are split on this game, including YouTubers and review channels. So this game isn't that bad like ReviewTech is making it out to be. The problem is, it's just split. And of course, you're gonna have people who love it and people who hate it. And recently, Video Game Donkey made a video making fun of Death Stranding. Now, while I can't address the game because I haven't played it, but YouTube has been split on Death Stranding. You either have a camp that loves it and you have a camp that hates it. And of course you have people that are split between it that just are falling line between both. But ReviewTech is making it out that since that with his information that he has and the reason he thinks the Death Stranding should be accused or should be called out more, and I just disagree with that. And if these YouTubers truly did enjoy the game, or if they don't really think it's that bad of a game, why should it be called out? Again, the information he used, Kotaku already addressed it. And yeah, now I'm just gonna bring this up. He said in his Twitter video he did not want to cover Death Stranding anymore. So if you didn't actually want to cover Death Stranding much, why did you even bother making another video about it? Why? What was the point? And I just think that ReviewTech was just trying to just milk the situation for reviews. He was just trying to get that ad revenue. Now, I for one don't think the game deserves that much criticism. Yes, the game isn't for me. Yes, the game can be boring to people. But the problem is that's all opinion based. So you can't really argue against someone's opinion. If people like it, people will like it. If people hate it, people will hate it. Games have been split like this before. The problem is, this situation isn't like any other situation. This game is, I believe this game's, how it's split is just different from any other game. No other game has really been split like this before. At least not that I've seen. But guys, I hope you guys have been enjoying that video. Now, I'm just gonna end it off here and hope you guys really do enjoy this video. Have a good day and peace.